Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I am good.
Welcome to Mostly Finished Thoughts.
Welcome to Mostly Finished Thoughts. I just had my guitar tech help me with my guitar.
Nice.
I.e.
Nice.
fell and got home from work. My guitar has the weirdest setup because it has the battery not on the outside, on like a little slot. So it has like a Velcro pouch inside of the guitar hole. So the sound hole. Just north of the sound hole towards the headstock. So you have to reach in, retrieve the pouch, remove battery, put in new battery, and then attach pouch again. And my hands are just one size too large for that sound hole with strings on. But Fel's hands are perfect.
Yeah. That's very funny.
I was very happy to have her help me with that.
That's awesome. I also just noticed that we have a special guest.
Yes.
Can you see him?
I can see Fancy Boy.
So this is our.
His eyes closed or are they open?
They're closed.
He looks very wise.
Yeah. So this is our first time recording video for this.
Yes.
And it's not going to be widely available. Don't get excited. This is an exclusive situation.
Yeah.
We haven't really talked about how it's going to work, but we want to be able to share like clips and stuff and have, maybe like, share full videos somewhere somehow. With hands,
it'll be good.
Yeah. The hands thing is good.
And now you can see, oh no, I'll have to think about what I do now.
Yeah, I know.
It's been a very blessed life just sitting here talking without having like someone.
I know. I'm just going to keep thinking about the fact that like we're not going to post the full video necessarily.
Yeah, so
we're going to post
always
pieces
edit.
of it. Yes. Yeah, I just streamed.
Yeah,
you streamed today.
Yeah. You just like an hour ago you were done?
Yeah, an hour-ish or so ago. Yeah. It's funny, we don't often stream. We don't often record on days when I stream.
No.
I feel.
No, we usually try Today is the December. You were coming to from September the 29th. It's a Wednesday.
It is. And this episode comes out on October the 1st.
Oh, yes.
Which is Friday.
Which is incredible.
Yeah. She says optimistically thinking that she'll remember to edit it before Friday this time, which definitely last week I woke up on Saturday morning and was like,
did you?
Fuck.
do you have time to edit it? Or do you have your contracts weighing you down, friend? I don't know what that means. I'm gonna take a wild stab in the dark here and say you have contracts weighing on you.
Yeah. Okay. So.
Yes.
My life is a mess.
That will be the first clip that had. So, my life is a mess.
It's okay. Really quick, like summary of what happened. I thought that I was in like crunch time to finish up this contract, which was supposed to end on Thursday. And so last week I worked like crazy hours. I worked on Sunday. I have been various levels of burnt out for a very, very, very long time, like for months and months. Yeah. But the way that my brain works is that I can kind of come back to normal functionality and then bury myself in work again. No. And so it's just like I never fully recover from the burnout, really. I just kind of like hover in and out of it for a long time.
That sounds healthy and good, yeah.
No, it's horrible. I don't recommend it. And like it's the worst right now that it's been in a really long time. I think Monday was the worst that I've felt in this span of time. And like, I think that burnout has a lot of, there's stigmas to it. I also think that it can sometimes be a term that is overused. It can also be a term that is taken less seriously than it should be because it's become overused. It's one of those things where it's like you can just say like, oh, I'm feeling really burnt out today. And it's like, well, you can feel more burnt out on certain days, but you aren't just like burnt out for a day and then you wake up the next day and everything is okay. Like it's takes a lot longer than that to recover. But Monday was for me like the worst day I've had in a while, where it really just constantly felt like it kind of feels to me like I'm like running up against a wall. So it's like there's like a thing that even if you like enjoy doing it, it's so hard to do it. And like part of this I think is I have I don't know what my mental health condition would necessarily be classified. I don't need to really label it, but I have ADHD tendencies for sure. So one of the things with ADHD is that sometimes your brain can just pick an activity or a thing and it just doesn't want to do it. And some people call it like running up against the wall, that it's just like there's like this thing, and even if it's easy or simple or something that you enjoy doing, your brain just won't let you do that. And so on Monday, that's what I was fighting with, is that I could still like sit down and do the work and get through it, but it constantly felt like I was fighting myself to get that done. Like it was costing me extra energy to do every single little bit of what I needed to do. And that sucks. It just doesn't feel good. It's exhausting. It reaches a point where, you know, like I can't really make sentences anymore. Like I can't really speak. Like years ago when I was working at Ubisoft, one of my managers, because I worked in QC, like quality control, for a little while, doing like testing. And my manager that I had then, she was very, very aware of burnout. And she used to tell this story about I think a creative director actually, who burnt themselves out so badly that they had to quit, like they had to take leave for like a year or more.
Wow.
Because they literally could not work anymore. And like you kind of hear those stories and you're like, oh, how is that possible? You can always work. But it's like on Monday, I was really reaching this point of being like, I can't. Like I cannot function. Like my brain is so broken.
There is nothing
that I can't do it anymore. And it's not just a like, I don't want to, or I don't feel like it, or I would rather be doing other things. And like, sorry, this became a tangent, but like the thing that like really drove it home for me is I like to play video games. It's one of my favorite things to do. Over the past couple of months, I haven't really actually even been able to play video games because my brain is so broken. Like I can only play like certain games. So like games like anything like first person shootery, I'm having a really hard time with. So like I even had to tell so Kendra Lissa, used to be Kendra Lanius, fellow Canadian streamer. Her and I play games together from time to time. She's lovely. It's great. But we were playing Valorant, and then we were playing some Apex, and then the last time we went to play, I'm like, hey, I can't do it. Like, because we would play and we would chat, and then I would just be so brain dead, or I'd have like crazy anxiety dreams afterwards, and like it was just horrible. And so like I finally had to be like, hey, we can't play that kind of game anymore because my brain's not capable of it. And like even, you know, I play a lot of League of Legends with my friend Kyler, and I even had to like, I can't do that right now. Like we played like 1 or 2 games the other night and I'm like, okay, I have to stop. Like I can't play anymore. Like, and like, that's how broken my brain is like, it's not just work, and it's not just not wanting to work. It's literally my brain saying like, nope, this is this is everything. I've done everything I can for you and we need to walk away now, you know? And like, that's kind of how burnout feels for me. I feel like I'm like punching a brick wall when I'm doing work and like getting nowhere.
I think that is very important for you to know that you're feeling that and acknowledge that, and also for people to hear what that sounds like.
Yeah, I saw something. Oh, you're welcome. Sorry for ranting about it. It's just it's where my brain's at.
Yeah, and it's important for people to know how that sounds, and understanding that it's not. I don't want to. I would rather be doing other things. It's just I can't.
Yeah, and even the things that I would rather be doing, I even feel like I don't have the mental capacity to do those things either. Like burnout doesn't just steal your ability to do work. It steals your ability to socialize with friends and drive your car and, you know, like normal everyday things.
Mr. Armchair Psychiatrist over here would also like to, like this also sounds like depression.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep, it does.
There's a wonderful quote that from Parks and Rec with Andy, where he goes, I'm just tired all the time. I'm overeating, I'm stressed, and none of my old hobbies interest me anymore.
Yeah.
Dude, you might be depressed.
Yeah. You know, this time of year I think it's hard for me often.
Do you also get seasonal blues?
I do, but in a really odd way. I just more find that like I feel the potential for the depression more this time of year.
You can see the outline.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, like you can kind of feel it, and like every once in a while my brain will like slip in, like dip its toes in and be like,
Yeah, this time.
And I have to more actively be like, no, like let's not go down that road right now. But yeah, I think it's definitely a combination. I think like, you know, I think they are intertwined, burnout and depression. I think they have a lot of things that are in common. Yeah, for sure. I think I saw a article today. Someone shared it on Twitter, and it didn't really make me mad because I think the point of the article was to get people to click it and get angry and whatever. But it was just this article talking about like, oh, like life-work balance is dumb. Like you have to work hard in order to achieve your goals and your dreams. If you want to achieve something, you have to like work really hard for it. And it was just like, I think that, you know, I'm not going to shit on that guy who wrote the article because he's got something else coming to him. But like it's more that concept is not new, you know, that idea of like, oh, well, you just have to like work really hard. And I think what people don't understand about burnout specifically is that you get burnt out by working really hard and not looking after yourself. And no matter how far you got when you worked that hard, when you get burnt out, you can't work anymore.
Yeah.
You have to stop. Yeah. You physically can't continue, you know? So it's not this concept of like, oh, well, you have to work really hard. People just don't want to work hard. It's like, no. If you work so hard and don't look after yourself that you burn yourself out, you can't work.
Then you've achieved,
Yeah, you know, that's the opposite of what you want. And you can damage yourself for a really long time. Like, it's I can see now, having experienced what I have, what my manager was talking about with that guy who had to like take a ton of time off. I can absolutely understand that.
So 1st of October, you have no further work.
No. So this was the I forgot to finish my story.
No worries.
I was supposed to be done on Thursday. Yeah. I was reminded last week that I was supposed to be done on Thursday, which is tomorrow as of recording this. And then I had a meeting on Monday where there's like, I'm working for two companies at the same time. There's like a company I'm working for and then their parent company.
Okay. Oh.
And so the company that I'm working for is like, yeah, Alanna's done on Thursday. And then the parent company was like, oh, what are you talking about? We don't ship this character until November.
Oh.
And we need audio support past that. And I just fell apart.
Oh, God.
I fully was just like, I was so excited to be done to be finished with everything. And just hearing that was like,
wow.
So that's where I'm at. I've luckily since then I've like spoken to people and been like, hey, you know, XYZ. Sorry, my Slack notifications are going crazy. Shh. You know, I've talked to her and she's like, yeah, you know what, you can like invoice when you're done your deliverables, and then if you need more, like if we need more from you, we'll invoice that separately. And I was like,
good,
thank God, that's really good. So I'm not going to be done tomorrow, just sort of, because I've got stuff to do still. But yeah, there's a lot of other things also happening at the same time. I'm supposed to be designing album artwork for my next release by Friday, and
Jesus.
yeah, etc., 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 etc.
So when is the hard time? When are you taking time off? At what dates?
Well, I'm going to Halifax.
Oh yeah.
On the 9th of October.
So then you'll be...
so I have to be off that week.
Good.
I apologize, everyone. There will not be a podcast on the week of October the 9th. Because I won't be here. So...
You're going to take some well-deserved rest and relaxation and a hangout.
Yeah, that's the goal. So that's I'm gonna try and get everything wrapped up by the end of next week, and then go to Halifax. And
then you're taking 2 weeks off. You're taking 1 week in Halifax, and you're taking 1 week when you get back. Yeah.
Yes. So I won't be streaming through that time, but it is Songtober, so I will be writing music, and I'm excited about that. I'm excited to be able to like a healing just thing, focus on that. Yeah, totally.
I'm really pumped about Songtober.
Yeah, you're gonna let's go into an Alanna Stops Talking segment. You're gonna do Songtober, yes?
Yeah, I'm gonna do Songtober. I think I'm gonna do some days on stream and try to complete some songs during streaming hours, which would be fun. And set aside like 1.5 hour per stream, perhaps 2 times a week, and then just try to do songs. That would be so much fun.
That's a really great idea.
We've done some songwriting before, and it's a lot of fun. Just like come up with a riff or like guitar piece, and then people can describe what their feelings are. Which
very cool.
Very scary and a lot of fun.
Yeah. That sounds super fun. I've only ever done like improv stuff with chat before. So like last year at some point, I released Live on a Farm, and then I did like a celebration stream for Live on a Farm, and I tried to do too much. I set my expectations too high, and I had a very disappointing time. But I tried to, I don't know. I think I wanted to have a celebration, and it was a celebration, but chat was pretty quiet, and I was kind of trying to draw on my own energy to keep it going, and that didn't go very well. And
so one for the books. Yes.
Yeah. It's an L in the books, but that's okay. But part of what I wanted to do that day was like to write other verses, and because chat was so quiet, it didn't go difficult when you come in with energy well.
Going, we're going to collaborate, me and the chat, and then chat is not in the mood that day, and you go,
exactly. It was no one's fault. It was just the way it was, and we had just moved to this apartment too, so it was like it was a lot of factors happening at the same time, and it just ended up being a bit of a flop. But I think that's the last time that I really tried to write something with chat in stream. Yeah,
I know that the Compliments Greg did a lot of like rewriting of songs for a while. Like they did like parody songs, which was incredible.
Yeah, I remember that. That was very cool.
One of the first times I heard "You Got a Friend in Me," you bought a mask for me, or you made a mask for me.
Yeah,
was real.
Which is what a cute one. Yeah, I remember they did a bunch of like COVID related songs. They're such wonderful people.
Today is the last day of restrictions in Sweden.
Really?
Yep. As of now,
how do you feel about that?
There's no COVID.
Oh God!
Good news, everyone.
Good news, everyone. COVID's over.
It's all fine and dandy. I think it's good. I think we're all vaccinated, or the majority, and hopefully things will turn out bueno.
Yeah, we have well,
my life will continue the same way. I'll be inside my apartment playing music, trying to not interact as much with my fellow men as I now realize that I hate my fellow men. And I like the internet people. So
yes, I am extremely curious to see what Twitch is going to look like what Twitch music is going to look like in 6 months,
a year
to a year. Yeah. Because I think that a lot of people started during COVID and created amazing things during COVID, and now I've even talked to a few people who are like, oh, well, I got offered this job. I'm going back into the office. I mean, even Danny the Hamilton, who was doing so well on Twitch. He just got basically his dream job.
Yeah.
And I'm so happy for him, but it's also kind of funny because now he's trying to balance streaming and wants to still do the music stuff. And I'm kind of just waiting for that to well, we'll see. You're doing a really awesome job. You've got this sweet setup now, and I think that that's not going to be something that's uncommon for people to have happen.
I had a lot of questions in chat about so what are your intentions moving forward? And I've been trying to be clear with it. I'm here for the for the long haul.
Yeah, me too. I'm absolutely here. There's nothing. I'm not applying for jobs. I'm doing these contracts, and I will continue if someone approaches me and they want a contract, or if I'm, if I need money, I have people that I can go to say hey, do you need work done? Whatever. But for the most part, I'm here. I'm in it. This is what I want to be doing.
I'm just trying to pick up new skills, learning more things along the way. Now, since someone's gonna have to edit the video of this. And I'm so looking forward to that. I'm finding that very it's wonderful. And I did a little thing I don't know what I used, GIMP to use for the YouTube covers, just to have something to have the audio on, and that was so much fun. Just sitting trying to find a font that matched the font, and sitting here and going, oh, does this look good? Oh, does this look good? Is this a poster now?
Yeah,
I'm really enjoying myself. So. And this is...
I'm glad.
I had a revelation today as well.
You did?
I've been thinking that I'm not a creative person.
What?
Yes. And I now realize that I've been thinking about creativity the wrong way, thinking that you have to be successful to be creative. I've put a equal sign, creative and successful is when you're creative. But creative is when you create stuff and you do things that interest you and you do new things.
Yes.
It doesn't have to be anything. It doesn't have to amount to anything. You can just try things and create things, and then you're creative. That was today's revelation for Mr. Elfving.
Wow. Wow. It is funny when you realize those kinds of things, though, right? I don't think that way at all. I've always been creative and I've
never been called creative in my life until I started playing guitar. I was never the creative type.
Well, so you had some school troubles.
What?
There was some honking that occurred. But what would you what kind of a learner are you? Do you know what I mean by that?
I think I'm a rara yara. What's that? Touching and doing? Learning along. I was just watching just before we started chatting about counterpoints in melody writing. And I cannot just listen nowadays to a tutorial. I have to sit down with a piano or play in Ableton at the same time to understand what's going on. And before they even show the notes, or I'll have it all set out.
Yeah.
And it's a good thing to learn about oneself now, that I can do tutorials if I do it on my own pace. But growing up, I was a very, very average student. I excelled in some things where I had some knowledge. Because it was not challenging enough where I had to study, and I could just scoot on by on just knowing things. So I never learned how to learn. How does one study and how does one apply oneself and overcome hurdles?
Yeah.
So as soon as there was a hurdle, I just go, nope, this is too difficult. I'm out.
Yeah.
And guitar was the first thing that stuck, where I went okay, this is impossible to play, but I need to learn how to do it. And then I played the same way of how I learned guitar on other subjects, and now that's also easier.
That's good. Yeah. I'm very good at learning.
You're very good at learning?
Which has been like a blessing and a curse for me.
A curse?
I'm very bad at memorizing things.
Oh.
But I'm very good at learning things. So for me, going through school was very much like I had to find my own way to understand it. Like I think very similar to you. Like if someone just like came up to me and was like, "Hey, by the way, this is this because this is this," I'd be like, "That means literally nothing to me." Or actually, that's a lie. If they just came up to me and they're like, "This is this."
Yeah.
And I'd be like, "But why?" Yes. And they'd say, "Because it is." And I'd be like, "No." My brain just couldn't compute it. Yeah. And like my favorite example of that is like in grade 11. So like 16, 17 age. I did terribly at chemistry, and I was a very good student. I was like a straight A student. And I started getting like 70s in chemistry, which for me was not good. Because I just couldn't grasp it. You know, we had to memorize the periodic table. We had to, like, the way that they taught it is they were like doing like one step at a time, kind of. And it wasn't until the final semester, all of a sudden I started getting 90s on all of my exams because they finally taught us in the last like couple of weeks how everything tied together and how it all worked. And I was like, oh, okay, well, why didn't you start with that?
There's
like it just, like there's a system here. There's things are correlated. Like now I understand. Like if you just tell me something is a way because it's a way, I'm not gonna, it's not gonna work for me. I have to know like this connects to this, connects to this, connects to this. And like, I don't know, it needs to tactilely make sense to me. But I've always been very good at retaining that once I understand it.
Okay. Yeah.
Like, so instead of like, I know a lot of people who are really good at memorizing and then they just forget everything after the exam. I have to understand it in order to remember it. Yeah. So that's a lot of that knowledge has like stayed with me.
Somewhat same for me. Yeah. I remember like if it was 2 years ago, I was lying on the couch here. I was sick post gig, had like a man cold and I couldn't sleep. And I was thinking about like music theory.
Okay.
Why chords are chords. And like I knew triads. I knew the whole thing. And I started thinking about like scales and why are the pentatonic only 5 tones and diatonic is 7. And then I started writing down things and started making like a system for myself. And I then delved into like the Cage system. Yep. And then I bought a course in music theory and I was super happy. Because then I realized, okay, it's not scary and daunting with music theory. You only have to count to 12. No A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Yeah, that's the one. And then you're flying. And like augmented chords, just realizing that, okay, augmented chords are just a 5. The 5th tone is augmented up a half step.
Yeah.
Super easy on guitar. Go, oh, Snapples. And then it's okay. Oh.
Yeah, it's very easy on piano too. Everything's very visual.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, it's interesting. I think that there's a lot to be said for schools not like taking into account how different people learn. I think a lot of schools, especially here, are very rooted in this like memorization concept. Like here's a bunch of terms, remember them, puke them back up on your exam, and we can like move along. And I think for a lot of people that doesn't. Yeah. That doesn't serve them. I was very lucky to have really good teachers when I was going through like public school. So
when I was in like junior high, I was 14 years old. We had science class. Then we were going through chemistry. And our poor teacher had been going through what an atom was for, I think, 4 weeks. So 4 lessons of like, what is an atom? And he went, is everyone on board? An atom is, and I went, Yep, good. And they went, a molecule is 2 atoms. Cue the person raising their hand. What's an atom?
Oh my
this
God.
Whole man's soul left his body. The pen like on the whiteboard, and he just stood there for 30 seconds, just deep breathing, going. So, an atom is composed of electrons, and So that's also why I didn't really do well in school, because I was super bored. Because I wasn't bored with when Adam was lesson 1 and I wanted to proceed. And I was just sitting there going, okay, well, if you're going to do this, I'm going to talk about Diablo 2 with a friend instead.
Yeah. I fully get that. I think that's something I struggled with a bit in college, is that college moved so slow for me for the first couple of years, especially like camera. Like I went to school for film.
Yeah.
And so like learning camera stuff, it just didn't sink into me. It was like, if you put me behind a camera, I will shoot something and it will look good.
Yeah.
And I know how all the settings work and I know how to use a camera. I've done this before. And then having to like do you know what foot candles are?
Pardon? Foot candle?
Precisely. Yeah. Calculating. And it's a really simple concept that I'm not going to be able to explain properly because I never really bothered to learn it. But it was, the idea is like how far away a source of light is from the camera. So a candle that's a foot away. It's a single foot camera.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
Foot candle. Sorry. And so like learning what that means in terms of like how to compensate if something is like 32 foot candles, then what ISO do you need? What f-stop do you need? Like, and I just didn't care. I was like, I'm like, if you put me behind a camera and the light is over there and everything is dark, I'm going to turn up the ISO or like, I'm going to, you know, and like there's a lot more to it. And I did learn more than that, but like I struggled for a long time just being like, you have to calculate this, and this. And I'm just like, or I could just look at it. Whoa.
I guess it's the same with music, where you can go, or you can just listen to it.
Yeah.
It's the same
exactly.
Principle, where you could know, like in theory, how this would sound good, or how we should work, or you could just listen to it and go, oh, this sounds good. What is it?
Yeah,
don't know.
Exactly.
Good.
And I think that's something that I still feel with like sound design. Like I still work in audio. I still work in sound design, and I find that I can look at some people's tweets specifically. I'm very much in like game audio Twitter. We all follow each other. It's very incestuous. But anyway, I look at some people's stuff and they're like, oh, I did this and this and this technical thing and this to like make a like whoop sound. And I'm like, man.
I did the whoop sound.
I just went whoop and it was fine. And it's you know, like I find that people can just overcomplicate things with technical knowledge. Yeah. And if that gives them joy, that's fantastic. But there's definitely times where I'm like, I feel like I'm worse at my job because I'm not doing things in that technical way, even though I'm still able to do things. Yeah, I'm still creating sounds. I'm still, you know, following a certain subset of rules. Yeah. But a lot of it is just like, it doesn't sound good. Yeah. Does it work? Yeah. Okay. No one's going to know that you created 3 different synthesizers and used multi-band compression for certain... I mean, well, multi-band compression, they'll probably... Anyway, it doesn't matter. Point is, you can overcomplicate things or you can just make things work.
I was at my brother's a few days ago, and we were trying to write a song together. Because he I don't know if I told you that he started playing music last year. I gave him the gateway drug and as a Christmas gift. I gave him a that's one tired doggo. Yeah. I gave him a MIDI keyboard, and now he has bought a synthesizer, like a proper like, analog synthesizer. And we were trying to write a song, and I said like I had a G, B minor, C thing going, like a riff. And he really loves signal chains. And compression and EQ. So we work in completely different ways when we write music. Where I sit and go, this sounds good. And then, and he's trying to like, oh no, we have to have the perfect kick drum before we can proceed.
Oh, no, I hate that. I can't do that at all. That's such a later thing.
Him when the time comes for that. But and we took a walk and we said, next time we'll just try to write a song like from A to B, and then we can start finicking with the the multi-band compression. The core, what's it called? The thing in Back to the Future. the thing that they want, they need. The hyper. No, never mind.
Save the cheerleader, save the world. Oh no, wrong
That's
time
Heroes,
travel.
I think. What?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that is Heroes.
Yeah.
I'm really glad that you knew that reference. I said it, and I was like, oh.
I haven't thought about that series in years.
It was really good. At least I remember it being really good.
I remember like the first few episodes being wow. And then I remember like the writer strike in the middle of that. And then one lost interest, and then it fizzled out, I guess.
Yeah, I just remember like season 2 starting, and it was like, oh, the world is once again ending. And I was like, I don't care anymore.
But there's so much fun things to do if you just apply yourself to things. That is my takeaway.
That was a great take.
But I mean, I spend so much time also like reading on Twitter what people are doing. Like, you have to do these things to be successful as a blah blah blah. Or you can just enjoy it. You don't have to be successful. You can just do things without having any success at all. It's fine.
Well, I think we've talked about this a few times, that like I don't think people understand that there are different definitions of success.
Yeah. Also very true.
Right? And so like success for us and success for other people are you know, technically different, you know, and like even like you and I have different definitions of success. They're similar, but they're different, you know, and like there isn't one golden path. And anyone who claims to have that one golden path is a liar.
When they're showing the one true way, run.
Yeah. Work hard.
But that is also
always
like the thing
harder
with school, and then how they try to teach you like this. There's only one way to learn. You have to memorize everything. And I I was fluent in English when I was like 14, because I played a lot of like games online, and I read in English, and I watched everything. So English was not like a big deal. And when we had English, we had an English test with like a glossary thing, and then I aced it. And then my teacher asked, "Did you study?" No, that's a B. I should have just said that I studied. Of course, that would have been the smart thing to do. But
that's ridiculous.
So he lowered my grade because I didn't study. We were supposed to have like
obscene.
We were supposed to have like a 1-minute talk. That was the task of the semester. At the end of the semester, you're going to talk for 1 minute about a subject that you've chosen. And me and my friend didn't really think about practicing or applying ourselves to that. So I think I talked about cupboards for a minute. Like the virtues of cupboards, they can store things in them. And he talked about pillows. But it was just like fluent, just talking about stream of consciousness, and they all thought we prepared for this.
I love that.
We tried to do everything to get out of doing work.
Yeah.
In 8th grade, we did a movie instead. We were supposed to do a play about, I think we had like some sort of contraption. What are they called? Tombola, where you roll and then you retrieve balls randomized for subjects. Okay. So the subjects to make a play about was cinnamon buns, defrosting the North Pole, something, and something else. So we decided to make a movie about a pizza baker who lives too close to the North Pole. So his pizzas get too cold too fast, so he has to go there to defrost the North Pole. So that's what we did. Instead of doing like a play in front of the class, we spent hours recording this movie. Idiots.
That's very funny, though.
Try to get out of work by doing more work.
Yeah. I don't know. It's interesting. I just need to close my curtain because I am slowly being blinded.
Yes.
Very bright.
Being blinded.
Welcome to Curtain Management with Alanna, podcast edition.
Yes.
Always curtain management. I was gonna say something and then I lost it.
Was it about TwitchCon?
Oh yeah.
No.
Oh, no.
No. Did you remember what you were going to say?
No, but we can talk about TwitchCon if you want.
Yes.
What are your TwitchCon thoughts? No, it's fine. Let's move on.
Very
Mostly
happy.
finished
TwitchCon thoughts. Yeah. TwitchCon edition. I'm so looking forward to it. In Amsterdam. I don't think, because there's going to be one in Amsterdam in July of 2022. And in San Diego. In October, I think.
Yes.
Or something like that. But I don't think I'm going to San Diego. But I think I'm going to, or I am going to Amsterdam.
Yeah.
If COVID isn't crazy. If COVID has been put in a chokehold, I'm going to TwitchCon.
Nice.
How about you, friendo?
I don't know.
Oh?
I was very excited about it at first.
Yes.
I was very caught up in hell yeah.
Yeah?
And now I don't know anymore.
Could this also be related to your state of mind in general? Yes.
Yes, 100%.
So we'll do a Magic 8 Ball. Ask me again later.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, please try again later. Okay, so my thoughts are twofold. One, I've been thinking about doing this music fest for Twitch for a year and a half now. And now that TwitchCon's been announced, it's okay, well, how feasible is it actually that I do this? Because I don't think people are going to want to go to multiple things. So it's a bit of a bummer thinking okay, well, maybe it's not such a good idea. Maybe I shouldn't try and do this music thing. But then at the same time, it's TwitchCon's not built for musicians. I don't know. They often have a stage or something, or they'll organize some sort of something for the musicians, but it's not really for us. It's going to be super crowded with mostly gamers. Yeah. And so part of me is I'm just excited to meet everyone.
Yeah,
that's what I want to do. I just want to be there and have everyone be in the same space and meet everyone. I don't really care to give Twitch more of my money to pay for a ticket. So part of me is if I can get this other thing organized and if enough people want to come, I know a lot of people in the music scenario are thinking the same thing as me, that they want to meet everyone, but they don't really care about the con itself. It's just an excuse for everyone to be in the same place.
I'm holding out hope that they somehow make one section for music. Because Twitch music has grown a lot.
It has grown a lot,
and I think it's compared to the rest of the.
I think it's fully possible that they arrange something for music, but I do think that, and Twitch, if you're listening, you're not. But if you're listening, I would love for you to prove me wrong here. I would absolutely love for you to prove me wrong. But if I had any inkling, I think that Twitch will probably pick the biggest creators from the music side and give them the performance time. Because logically it makes sense, but it doesn't make a ton of sense.
That one might be the Twitch open mic thing is going on about as well. That might be the hidden price.
Oh, maybe. I don't know. Probably not. I think that's just the thing. But it's
I'm just so sorry. It's my first convention ever.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's I really want to be hype. No, I really want to be hype. I want to be excited. I mean, I've been to a fan expo here. I don't know if that counts, but I've never been to a con. Yeah, it blew.
Oh, I love that so much. Did you have that ready in your pocket? Because that was instant. That was brilliant.
No.
Oh, thank you for blessing my life. Oh.
Yep. You started. I just. Anyway.
Speaking of, there was someone the other day who came into chat who's never been there. Account created the same day, and the person said the keyboard is too loud because my wife is doing work as I'm sitting here streaming. And I said, well, that is my wife's work. She has to. And the person said, what does she work with? So I had to go with, she's a keyboard tester. I was so proud. I got a lot of laughs from the chat, and the person left.
Oh, of course. I'm so glad that they left. I hate people like that. I had someone come in my chat the other day. Welcome to Petty Complaints.
Yeah.
I had someone come into my chat the other day, and they're like, this is really good, but the voice is too forward in the mix for my liking.
Yeah, I have a place
like,
where you can send your opinion.
Wow. Yeah. And like this goes back to like I often ask chat how things sound.
Yeah.
If you are brand new, you've never been here before, and you come in and the first thing you say is some sort of like feedback, I'm not listening to you. I'm sorry. I'm not listening to you.
I constantly have the quote from The Big Lebowski in my head, where Walter is he's telling Donnie off, "You asshole, the world doesn't start and stop at your convenience."
Yeah.
Which is such a great, you're like a child who wants into the middle of a movie.
Yeah. Yes.
You're going, I don't know what's going on. Well, neither do we.
Oh, can someone explain? And I'm not even asking for much. Like, if this person had come in, like
said hello,
yes. Perhaps requested a song, maybe clapped.
Yeah.
The bar's real low. Participated in a conversation.
Bars are set very
all
low,
within like the first hour of them being there, and then made a comment about the mix.
Yeah.
I would listen to them. But when the first thing you've ever said, you literally followed, and the first thing you say is that you're going to criticize my mix, go away.
I'm looking for my glasses. I was going to do that. Well, actually. People are fantastic.
Yeah. And like it's a petty complaint. It didn't really well, actually, you know what? I'm not going to downplay it. It did bother me because I adjusted my mix after that. I was like, oh, maybe I am too up in the mix. And then right away my head's like, okay, now I need to like turn this up, or I need to do this, or I need to do this. And like you disrupt, like it is so easy to disrupt streamers, you guys. It is so easy to get in our heads. So easy. I want to say that we're all like, I'm just doing what I'm doing and no one can bother me about it. But that is 0% true.
Sticks and stones.
You can bother me all the time.
Sticks and stones may break my bones, but your words will hurt for a lifetime.
Yeah. Sticks and stones? Painful.
Yes. Yeah, but having people do it. Someone said the other day, your viewership is dropping. Going, what? Person followed during front page.
That's so rude.
And that person followed during front page. So yes, since then my viewership has dropped from 2,000. Yes, that's just weird.
I
was just going, wow,
horrible.
And I didn't address it. I didn't say anything. I asked Phil afterwards, were my numbers low? Is it dropping? She went, no, not at all. It's just someone comparing like front page numbers to a regular stream.
But it doesn't even matter. Like context doesn't even matter. Yeah. You don't come into a stream and say, oh, you're... Well, I don't know what looks like you're on your way out.
I'm just curious what the person wants to achieve. Are they trying to alert me that my content is bad?
I don't think so.
Are they just like, hello, I have made observation that you have not asked for?
So, I have a theory.
You have a theory? Oh, I'm going to have a little
And when I have some brain space, I might put together like a whole YouTube video about this because it's a theory. It's a theory. I saw someone tweet the other day about how on social media, and I would include Twitch as like social media, it is very commonplace for people to, make statements that aren't aggressive or mean, but they're frustrating and fatiguing, even though they're like seemingly harmless. Mm-hmm. So for example, she's like, you could post a picture of 3 bagels and you could say, got my 3 favorite bagels. And someone will comment on that, you forgot poppy seed. It's it feels harmless, right?
Yeah.
Like it feels like someone's just coming in.
Yeah.
They're not saying like, great choice. I personally love poppy seed. They're saying you forgot poppy seed.
Yes.
Right? I felt that to my core when I saw her talking about that, and just about because it happens so often, and as it happens more and more and more, it just gets more frustrating, but you can't respond. There's no good way to respond to it, because if someone comes in and they're aggressive, like if someone were to come in and be like, those bagel flavors are stupid, you could say no, and you can come back, right? Like you can come back with something. But when someone just comes in and says something that's like innocuous, you can't, there's nothing you can really say to it. And the more that happens, the more frustrating it is. So like I posted a picture a while ago of the skyline of my city that I live in, and it was beautiful. We were on a boat coming back from, we have like this called like the Toronto Island, and we took a water taxi to come back to like the mainland. At night it was gorgeous, like just the whole city like lit up, the tower, everything, like it was unbelievably beautiful. I took a picture, and the caption that I posted was, I love my city, and that's it.
How dare you?
And then someone comes back in and they're like, it's an all right city. Parking's too expensive. And it's like, I can't really say anything to that, but I am frustrated and annoyed that you've done that. And what is irritating on top of which is that people are just like, well, that's social media. That's just how it goes. Like if you post something, and it's like, no, like if like no one would say that to you in real life. That's such a dick thing to say.
There are people who would say that to you in real life. There. I
don't know.
I've met people.
But
yeah, sorry.
It's okay. My theory, anyway, is that these people are downplaying your joy.
Yes.
When people come into chat and you're having a great time, and they say something like, your viewership has gone down. It seems harmless.
Yes.
It's a pointless thing to say. It's a dumb thing to say. But people don't think about the fact that that is going to decrease your enjoyment of that moment or of that thing, right? They're coming in saying, well, this is just my opinion. I'm just saying this. This is just a thing that I'm saying. And they're not considering how much that's like downplaying your joy. Right? When I'm taking a picture of my city, I love my city. And someone's coming in and saying, no. That is frustrating. That's exhausting, right? Like that, it
feels like you have to justify your own, you're being challenged in your belief or your... But
because I think a lot of us post... Sorry, what were you saying?
No, I was just pulling the same thread. I'm done.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I think it's that. Oh, I lost what I was going to say.
No.
Oh no. No, you just watch it get farther away. Like, you know that the thought is just
way out in the water, so it's swimming.
Leaving. Yes. Yeah.
Such a great song. But I mean, when people challenge your values, and it's not your core values, it's just arbitrary. No. I think I love this forest. No, there are far better forests. Okay. Well,
yeah. Yeah. What I was going to say before it came back is that I think a lot of us, when we post to social media, for the most part, we're posting something that's brought us some kind of joy.
Yeah.
You know, or we're ranting about something. Yes. But like usually we're sharing pictures of things that we like, of things that we're proud of. When we're streaming, we're doing something that we enjoy. You know, like a lot of social media is, for a lot of us anyway, is sharing something that brings us joy in hopes that, you know, perhaps it brings someone else joy also, you know. And like obviously that doesn't go for everyone. There's a lot of people who just want people to get mad and stir the pot and, you know, share conspiracies or whatever. But like I think for a lot of us it's very root, like, this makes me happy, here's a picture of this thing that makes me happy. And then when someone comes in and says like, parking's too expensive, it's like, why?
But I was just going to say, when you said people don't do that in real life, I've had people interject themselves in conversations that I've had.
Really?
Or one of my favorite stories. I was taking the train here in Skåne, where I live, and I was going out to a friend's place to jam. So I brought on my guitar. The train got rerouted, and I had to get off and stand around and wait for a while. And I met an old childhood friend from my theater days. And we were in the same theater troupe as kids. So we got on the train together and we started talking. And then some dude, she was talking about a town. And then some dude next to us went, yeah, I grew up in that town. Sir?
Okay.
Did you? He went, yeah, it was lovely. My dad is from there as well. We went, that's all well and good. We haven't seen each other in like 12 years. So anyway, sorry. And then we continued talking, and he would just interject words, like agreeing or disagreeing from time to time. That's one of my best.
That's so weird.
Public transport things. Someone is going. It feels like a very New York thing. Like from the things I've gotten from movies about New York, that could happen there. But this was noon, a Sunday.
Yeah, I honestly, anyone talking to me in public is something I'm just never down for. I hate it so much.
I took the bus a few years ago, and I was going to an open mic, and I brought along my guitar, and there was clearly a man on the bus who was drunk, and I don't know if he was homeless, but he looked like he'd seen better days, and he hadn't slept properly in a while. And he looked at me going, "Oh, guitar man, play me a song. Can you play that?" And then he started singing in the clear voice, "Let us be lovers, we'll marry her," in like the most sweet. And I went, "What?" I thought it was going to be a fist fight for sure, that he was going to be like trying to instigate something, but no, he just wanted to sing Simon Garfunkel. So I took out the guitar and I played and he sang. It was wonderful.
That is not where I thought that story was going at all.
And every time I play America by Simon Garfunkel, I have that memory in my head. Guitar man.
That's very funny. Yeah, like I don't get like heckled by people very often.
Oh.
But it's more like people just want to make conversation with me. Like, I used to take public transit everywhere, and like sometimes they would do it in a way that like they wanted to like try and like ask me out or whatever. So like I'd have someone, like there was one time I was on a bus, I was freaking exhausted coming home from teaching, and I'm reading a book
to approach someone.
Yeah, I'm reading a book on the bus, and this guy sits down like 3 seats over from me.
Oh no.
And he's like, "Hey, I like your bag." And I'm like, "Oh, thanks." And then because I said thank you,
you opened that door.
Even though I went back to reading my book, he was right away like just talking to me about whatever. And like he was a younger guy too. Like he was probably perfectly fine, and like I'm sure maybe he's gonna meet his like future wife on a bus. But like I'm just so not. Like, if I'm on transit, if I'm walking somewhere, if I'm in a store, like, I'm here to do something. I'm not here to, like, meet people and hang out.
If you see someone in a bar sitting, drinking, and, like, looking at you and looking away as you're looking at them, that might be a good time to go up and strike up a conversation. If it feels like there's a connection. If you're in the grocery store trying to buy groceries, do not approach people. It's not a difficult concept. If you're in an area... In a place that is meant for people to connect, yes, by all means, try to connect in a nice way.
Yeah.
If you're in a shared space like a bus where you have no leeway of getting out of the situation, do not.
Yeah, leave me alone. And like, I can't remember. I remember where I got off the bus, but I think we actually got off the bus at the same place, which sucked. And then I ended up having to like walk really far because he was going to get on the same streetcar that I was going to take to get home. And he was like, "Oh, there's like a bar over here. Do you want to like go get drinks?" I'm like, "No, I think I was engaged at the time." So I'm like, "No, I'm engaged." She's like, "Oh, we could go to like just as friends." And I'm like,
"We're not friends, sir."
I don't believe you, and we're not friends. Like, there are two problems with that sentence. And so I ended up like walking home from there, which it wasn't that far, but it was still sucked. But it was I don't know. I just don't talk to me if I don't know you. If you don't know someone, just don't talk to them. Like elevators is another one where you get in an elevator with someone and you've got like, have I told my story?
Swedish,
it just happened recently. Am I? That's good.
Sweden. There's a lot of like footage from like bus stops here.
Yeah.
With like COVID in Sweden, no difference. Everyone stands like 6 meters apart. No one wants to talk to each other.
Oh, I like. So we every few weeks we'll go do like an alcohol run to the LCBO, which is our like liquor store, and we'll stock up. Because it'll be like, we'll bring it if we go to see friends, we'll bring some drinks, or if people come over or whatever, like, doesn't matter. We get a good amount and then it lasts us for a while. And I got in the elevator with my like rather large, very full bag of cans of alcohol.
Someone's going
and
to
this guy... Well, yeah, like the guy has to like get in the elevator. He's like,
"Whoa, big night!
That looks like a fun bag." Yeah. And I'm like, "Oh yeah, no, we stock up. Like it's not, it's not just for right now." And he's
alcohol?
like, "Oh, I wouldn't judge you if it was." And I'm just like, "I don't want to talk to you about this. I just want to go home. This bag is heavy.
Oh, God.
Like, leave me alone."
Oh, my old guitar instructor, when he was in Gothenburg, he was standing waiting for the tram, and he had his gig bag on his back. And then someone came up to him and asked, "Are you a troubadour?" And I went, "Yeah, I am. I'm glad you asked." And the guy went, "Yeah, stop." It was the weirdest interaction ever. Yeah.
Wow.
And then he just walked away, and my teacher was just left there standing like, "What? Was this just an elaborate joke?" But because he'd been hoping, and when he told this story, like he'd been hoping for years that someone would strike a conversation based on his guitar case. Yeah, he finally talked to someone about music. No, just stop being okay. Cool, thanks.
Also, like, don't talk to me about my guitar case. Just don't talk. If you don't know me, don't talk to me.
I was getting off the bus with a friend. We were going to a gig. I guess we were the worst people in the universe because we took public transit to the gig with our gigs, with all the amps and stuff, though.
Oh, I think that's normal.
As we were getting off, a dude went, "Are you photographers?" Not in a joking way, as in like legit asking, "Are you photographers?" Okay. I was carrying 2 amps, a gig bag,
very
with a guitar
loud
on my back.
Photographers.
My friend was also carrying a guitar. Yeah. I said, "Yeah, we're photographers. We have a very keen interest in music, though."
Yeah.
Yeah, such a weird. And he was like blocking the exit of the bus because he wanted to talk to us about photography. Dude, this is our stop. We're getting off the bus now.
Oh my God, I just hate people.
Yeah. I'm sorry. It's Ebola. Ebola. No. Knock on wood. Let's not have Ebola.
Let's not. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like personal space is just good.
Yeah.
If it's a place where you can meet people. Like if you're at a con, yes, say hello, talk to the people. That is a place for talking to the people.
If you know me from music or Twitch or stuff, feel free to say hi to me on the street, though.
Yeah.
Disclaimer.
100%.
That would be fine. I just wanted to put this out there. If anyone ever listens to this and meets me and goes, "Oh, there's Theo. Can I say hi?" Yes. 100% say hi.
Yes. I fully agree. Please, if you see me, please say hi. And yes, you can pet Clive. But if you don't know a person and you're just looking for an excuse to like strike up conversation, or you feel like you should strike up conversation, you shouldn't. Just don't. Yeah. Just ride the elevator. Just you can do it in silence and everyone will be happier for it.
We have a saying in Sweden, "Jordosat," which means, well, or here we are.
Yeah.
Jordosat, it's like to fill an awkward silence. A lot of people use that. Jordosat. And then as your brain is trying to figure out something to say.
Yeah.
When someone begins a conversation with that, you know you're headed down a dark path. That's been I've talked about this before, but like my favorite hate thing about playing pubs is when someone comes up to you after the gig and goes, "What kind of guitar do you play?" And I went, "Oh, it's a Gibson." "Oh, I have a Martin home. Do you play?" "No." And then like that conversation just stops. Where I go, I fully understand that this person wants to talk about something, but we just can't connect, and it's so weird. And it's that whole you know, so yeah. That was always a very good thing to be a smoker back then, because then you could always just leave and go, "Oh, I just got out of the. I didn't have a cigarette," and then you could scoot off.
Yeah, you just have to find excuses to walk away.
Heroin, nice. I just need to go and shoot up.
It's different.
I'll be with you shortly.
Can you imagine if that was your segue? It's like, I just gotta go do a line.
I have some needle work to do.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Cross stitching on my. No, sorry, that's a weird.
Cross stitching. I feel like public stuff is so strange. Like before COVID, after COVID.
Yes.
I think especially during COVID, it's just like, you know, there's nice old ladies in my building, but they just want to talk to you. And like, that's fine, whatever. But with COVID, like there's one lady in my building. She makes me so angry because she has a mask. Okay.
She takes off to talk to you?
No, she doesn't put it on all the way.
Oh.
She holds it in front of her face.
Like a visor?
She doesn't hook it on her ears, which would be the easier thing to do. She just stands with her mask just in front of her face.
Like this?
Not even like that. She has a paper mask. So this is a visual. I don't have a paper mask, but this is a notebook. We can pretend it's a mask. She just stands like this.
Oh, the old... Okay, so this will help. Yeah, this will surely help. Nothing bad can come from this.
You have... There's ear straps on your... Just put it on your... What? Why?
Mask on.
Like, why bother even having the mask if you're just going to hold it in front of your face? And she smokes, so she's constantly going in and out of the building. So we see her all the time. Oh. And it just makes me nuts. And then she'll want to, like, talk to you. And then as she's talking, like, the mask, like, obviously, like, lowers a little bit as she's talking. And it's like, you have a mask. You've taken the mask from your house to go outside. Just put it on your ears.
Put it on your face.
I can see your ears.
You have ears.
You have ears.
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous. It's the weirdest lazy thing to me, because it's definitely harder for her to hold it, but she won't bother putting it over her ears.
100%.
No.
I'm going to do that as well. Just walk around with it like this. Yeah, hello.
Yeah, there you go. Perfect.
This isn't strange at all or weird. No, so I was born without ears, so I don't have anything to attach it to.
See, like, then I can understand. I mean, like, Ghost has one that, like, goes around his head. And, like, they were selling them here.
Oh, yeah.
That, like, have the elastics that just, like, go all the way around the back. So instead of hooking it on your ears. Because some people have really sensitive ears, or they have, like, really small ears or whatever. And so, like, they'll go around the back of the head. Yeah. Yeah. It's also possible. I've seen a few. The mask just hangs off and then comes down underneath their chin. I can see it now.
I know what I'm going to do in GIMP tonight.
There you go. Are you dressing up as anything for Halloween?
Yes, I think so. I think my best friend is having a Halloween party.
Oh.
And the theme is, excuse me, I think I've arrived at the wrong place. I think I'm at the wrong party. So I think it's like sort of like a role play thing where we're all supposed to act like that we just came to the wrong party. And then you have to have like a backstory. So
that's kind of interesting.
So you could be like Jack Sparrow showing up at the party and going, alas, yes, whatever. That was the worst. No energy, Jack Sparrow. Well, alas, yes, caps.
Oh my gosh.
So costume, I don't know. I have this Scrubs thing that I've been meaning to put on for Twitch, but
weren't you celebrating 10
Yes, I have not celebrated that. No, I've been out of spoons.
Poor Kay.
It's been a very it's been a shortage of spoons in the Elfving household.
Yes, that's very true. There's been some things.
Yes.
Some things happening.
Which I hate. I hate not having spoons. I hate the cost of the lack of spoons. But I mostly hate that I don't have the energy to celebrate the things that are wonderful, like having 10,000 followers and like giving the community something back.
And I think this is like a perfect circle back is to that when you are exhausted.
You are exhausted, yeah.
You're robbed of nice things and hard things. It's not that you can't do the work. You can't do the fun things that you've planned either.
It sucks because I really just want to be able to sit here and like, whoa, we did it, and have like a party stream. But brain is struggling just getting up in the morning now. It's been rough. I don't think I told, because we didn't speak last week. We didn't talk about what happened. Fel was in the emergency room with vertigo.
I was going to ask if you wanted to talk about it.
She's feeling better now. It's still, they don't know the cause of it. She's found some ways to cope with it, but it was really scary. So Fel woke up with vertigo on Saturday, and it didn't relieve when she lied down. So she was constantly dizzy for like 3 hours. So we called 1177, which is like the medical dispatch, and we could ask questions. They went, go to the ER. And since of COVID, you can't go with your spouse in. You can just walk them into the reception area, and then they're on their own. And then you are also on your own. And for the first time in my life, in a long while, I felt very scared and alone. Because we've been together for forever in this apartment now. It's only been me and her. And when she went into the emergency room, like me walking out into the park was just what the hell do I do now? What? Oh. But it's better now. So it's been rough. People have been wonderful.
Really sorry to hear that, by the way.
Thanks.
Yeah, that's really, really hard.
But everything it seems to be looking up. So, and she's going to meet new doctors now and have a whole thing done. So, Tres bueno.
I hope that it's nothing.
Yeah,
I hope it's some weird inner ear thing and that it's passed. And
it might be a broken butt. No.
Been there.
I think it's her. We think it's neck muscles that she's like over.
Yeah.
What's it called? Overworked her neck muscles from sitting at the desk too much, and that might be causing.
Sounds very possible.
Yeah. So hopefully it's that.
Yes. Fingers crossed.
Yes.
For that.
It's going to be good. She's been drawing a lot though. She's doing Inktober. We're doing Songtober, and Fel is doing Inktober.
Nice.
She's been drawing some wonderful things.
Yeah.
Do you draw? But have I asked this before? Are you a sketcher, a drawer, an artist?
I am not an artist. I can draw.
Yeah.
It is the skill that I 100% wish I was better at.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the biggest. I look at people who are so good at art, and I love art. I love colors and like, I don't know. I love art. I love graphic design and stuff. I wish I could be better at it. Like I've got watercolors for Christmas, and like the thing is, I am passable. I can draw certain things. If I can see something, I can usually copy it. So like cool. That's cool, but I can't like sit here and be like, I'm going to draw this and then have it look good. Like I have to be able to like look at something. I have no sense of like how to do proper shading or coloring or whatever. I've drawn a good amount, but it's something that I'm still not good at and would like to be a lot better at.
I just started trying to learn. It's terrible. I'm drawing like a 5-year-old, but I mean, perhaps next year I'll draw like a 6-year-old, and then.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's as long as I can see it.
Yeah.
Usually I can draw it, but and it's even like I'll learn how to draw something like flowers. I really wanted to learn how to draw flowers. So I practiced drawing flowers.
Oh.
I couldn't draw one now. If you asked me to. I don't remember anymore. I did it a bunch and then I stopped. And then now I would have to like look at it again and be like, oh, this is how you draw flowers.
Because it feels like it would be such a nice skill to have. Mm-hmm. To like sketch things. And have like a meditative process as well of just doing that.
Yeah.
And my mother-in-law is a very accomplished illustrator. And I asked her, like, how does one learn? And she went, one line at a time. Thanks.
Interesting. Yeah. I mean, that's not wrong.
It holds true that if you draw a line every day, you'll get better at drawing lines. And drawing is all about lines. So she has a very good points.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose that checks out. Sorry, apparently I bought something on Steam.
Oh. Apparently I bought something on Steam? What have you purchased, Alanna?
I assume that Ghost bought something on Steam. Because I certainly did not.
Have you?
Fun.
Are you going to try New World, by the way?
I don't know. I see that it has mixed reviews.
Yeah.
And so I'm not busting down the door. If it had extremely positive reviews, people were really into it, then sure. But people seem to be pretty meh. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, sort of same. And also, how fun can it be? I've played World of Warcraft. I think like that whole thing, isn't it just like World of Warcraft again? What's
yeah.
New?
And like I played Elder Scrolls Online with my friends through COVID, and I still have that downloaded. And so,
because that sounds wonderful though, because that's like Elder Scrolls Online.
It is, and it's
you get to play multiplayer.
It's shockingly better than I expected it to be.
It is?
Like there's a lot of quests. The combat feels pretty good.
Oh,
I played the beta and I didn't like it, and then now they've done so much.
Okay,
yeah. It's really good. I can understand why they haven't made the next Elder Scrolls game, because this exists. So
cool.
I'm not like keening for a new MMO of any kind.
I loved Valheim
at this point.
That was one of the best experiences I've had game wise in years. Mm-hmm. Running through all that with Box Voco. We were playing during the evenings, and as I was streaming, he would be in my stream listening to me as he was mining things and making sure that we could have a smooth run in the evening.
That's cool.
It was fantastic.
Yeah. I would have liked to have played more Valheim than I did.
Yeah.
But it was always like short stints.
Oh.
I played a bit with like Danny and Kyle, and that was nice. I played a bit with Ghost. Sorry, squeaky mic.
But
I would have liked to play more.
I will show you Dota.
I've played Dota is the thing. Yeah. I've played Dota. I don't mind Dota. I just find that there's things that Dota does that I don't love. But that's okay.
Because the international is coming up now. I'm so pumped.
It is.
I recently rewatched True Sight, the documentaries about the winners of past tournaments with Fel. And Fel also loves Dota because of the international.
Interesting.
It is so cool. She calls it a mixture between handball and chess. Same concept as with League of Legends as well, that you have to make your moves, and it's so cool.
Yeah. The Worlds for League are also coming up.
Yeah.
I know because all of the maps have banners.
Oh.
But yes, we should play some more games. Thank you for chatting with me today.
Thank you so much for chatting this week.
I'm sorry to have used up so much of the airspace talking about burnout. I think it's important.
It is super important. If you're talking about something important, it's important. It's very clear that you need to talk about it. I'm not here to listen, and I'm sure people are here to listen to it as well. Mm-hmm. And you are very, very good at describing what you're feeling.
This is great. I'm very bad at feeling what I'm describing.
And there's the title of the episode. I'm very bad at feeling what I'm describing. Cool.
And I also hope that your brain feels a little better soon. I hope you can find the energy
gonna
and
be
the
good. We
willpower
have our
celebrate.
1 year anniversary. No, 5-year anniversary as marriage on Friday.
Wow.
So it's gonna be good.
5 years.
I don't know where that time went.
That's so exciting, though. Congratulations.
Thanks. We're gonna go out for burgers and beers and have a whole night.
Oh, that sounds so good. Yeah, that sounds amazing. Thank you to everyone who is listening.
Yes, and thank you for
hanging out,
talking about it as well. There's a section in Alanna's Discord where we chat about the podcast, and also in my Discord to some extent. Super happy to read all the comments and knowing that people and seeing that from like the update on how many people have downloaded the episodes, going, wow, there's people listening.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. If you would like to follow us, you can go to linktr.ee/mostlyfinished. Or you can Google Alanna Matty or Theodor Elfving and find us wherever you would like to.
Wherever you fancy.
Yes. I also had the thought, like, is rating podcasts still a thing? Could you give us 5 stars?
No, I think
or
you
a
can.
like?
Yes.
I don't know what that is. I don't know if that's a thing anymore.
Can, like on iTunes at least.
Yeah.
Or if you like,
if you're listening on iTunes in 2013, please give us 5 stars.
I think you can also, like, if you add it to a playlist on Spotify, I think that also works in our favor algorithm wise.
10 out of 10.
With Street Horse again.
Yes. I will see you next week.
See you next week, Alanna. Have a great one. Make Street Elephants a horse thing. Bye-bye.
Make Street Elephants a horse thing. Bye.